Hello, it is spring, so I'm sure the majority of you who don't live in a swamp are outside enjoying the fresh blooming flowers and the warm air after a long cold winter indoors. However, I live in Massachusetts, aka a swamp, so spring is just wet and cold and windy and awful, and anytime it gets warm, we get stormed by mosquitoes and bees, and it's horrible. Hence why I'm here in front of you talking about anime. It's a nice indoor activity, but if I'm being honest, there's a little bit of an issue this spring. The season's not that good. It's kind of to be expected, especially after the amazing last year we had and the fantastic winter season. Eventually the bubble had to burst and we had to have a little bit of a dry spell. However, if I was to make a recommendation for the spring season, I would say give Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba a shot. I've been checking it out. I read ahead a little bit on Shonen Jump, and it's definitely going to be a fun time. It's already very good so far. I also plan on checking out Fruits Basket. Haven't done it yet, but it's on my list. We know we have a lot of good stuff coming our way. Attack on Titan is coming back. My Hero Academia is coming back in the summer. So until then, it's a great time to catch up on that never-ending watch list. Or in this case, I'm just gonna delve into the psychological pull of a well-written, overpowered character and let that watch list crush me in due time. One of the most successful anime cliches in recent years is the OP protagonist. Rimuru, Mob, Saitama, All Might, Kirito, Ainzul, Gond, hell, even Meliodas are just some examples off the top of my head. Characters that are so overpowered you know without question they're going to win every single fight they ever have. But why do they exist? And more importantly, why do they seem to come hand in hand with many of the most popular anime of our time? I, in particular, seem to be drawn to anime that have an OP character at the forefront. They feel unique despite having seen anime after anime with the same underlying premise. Why am I not bored of it? Why do I keep coming back? OP characters have a significant hold on the hearts of anime lovers everywhere, which doesn't make a lot of sense on the surface. Overpowered characters aren't inherently relatable. They're something we can never hope to attain, with powers well beyond anything we will ever experience. They're essentially aliens to the average Joe or Joette or Jose, I don't know, I'm sure I've offended someone, like you and me. It makes much more sense for us to relate to someone like Subaru from ReZero, someone without any powers who in fact often feels powerless in difficult situations and has to struggle his way through them. He has far more in common with us than an overpowered skeleton mage or a bald banana cosplayer, yet I still feel as empathetic towards All Might or Goku as I do with poor Subaru over here. It's an interesting dichotomy and something that I finally feel like I'm getting a grasp on. The first thing we need to understand when we're looking at an OP protagonist is that their powers are the least important aspect of their character. Both Saitama and Mob are perfect examples of this. One is an extraordinary mangaka and fully understands that creating a completely surreal character can destroy a story, but focusing on their humanity and flaws can make it exceptional. One Punch Man and Mob Psycho aren't about the fight scenes. You know who's gonna win. In fact, Mob and Saitama usually only take a handful of seconds to win a fight. What's important is the story that's generated around them. We've already touched on both characters, but neither of these anime are about who's the strongest. They're in-depth character analyses on inherently flawed personalities. We relate to these characters, it's pretty much inarguable. But why we do is what makes these shows work. It's specifically because their powers pose no struggle for them that we love them. Despite their overwhelming capabilities in one aspect of life, they struggle relentlessly against the same issues we do, i.e., the human condition. These incredible abilities don't help make friends or talk to girls or better oneself. They're only one aspect of a person, not their entirety. Mob Psycho is about learning who you are and working to better yourself through many facets, not relying on the one skill you happen to have to solve all your problems. It's about understanding your emotions and the pressure that builds when you bottle them up. That it's okay to let go, to explode, and to feel things, both good and bad. It's an essential part of life. These are human experiences being served through someone who seems inhuman but is incredibly, unmistakably human inside. Both Mob and Saitama are written as OP characters to highlight a singular point and to add action to a mundane conundrum. They're only good at one thing, and one thing isn't enough to make it through life. To make them relatable, an overpowered character needs a mental or emotional flaw, and a big one. Something that can compensate for their over-the-top fighting abilities and allow us to see ourselves within them. Even characters Characters like Rimuru, Ainz, or Diablo, who seem completely flawless from the outside, are in fact very relatable to us. Being thrust into an unknown world and not knowing what to do about it is the theme of the isekai genre, but it's also a relatable experience to most people. We often find ourselves in situations we're uncomfortable in. We end up at events or parties or other places where we know no one, we feel underdressed or ill-prepared, and we have to find our way through this situation while trying to make as few mistakes as possible. It's those experiences that have us rooting for our skeleton mage and slime to succeed where we may have failed. They both put on a face of certainness when in reality they're both quite unsure that what they're doing is the right thing. Yet everyone is looking to them for answers. It's stressful to be the person in charge. You don't want to let down those you care about or who care about you. It's all reflective of our own world and our experiences, and there's nothing we can understand better than that. All Might is an excellent example of this. My Hero Academia is definitely my favorite ongoing classic-styled shonen anime. And All Might's character flaw is an excellent example of how an overpowered character can be written to be unbelievably relatable to a completely normal person. He's incredibly strong and he's never lost a fight, and yet he guards a horrific secret, that his power is waning and that he only has so much time left. All Might puts on this fake bravado, this mask of smiles and confidence to ensure the general public that everything is alright. He attempts to make his victory seem effortless, that he's completely untouchable. Don't worry because he's here. And yet, when we hear his inner dialogue, the truth comes crashing down. In many ways, he's the reverse of Saitama, a character exerting all the effort they have to finish battles in one punch, but each punch is a struggle, shortening the amount of power he has left, smiling to cover up his fears and insecurities. We all know those gut-wrenching thoughts of self-deprecation. No one is immune to feeling worthless or helpless. We can all relate to it. To see this giant of a man, the #1 hero in the world, feeling those emotions creates a relatability and understanding of his character. And what about hiding a secret for the fear of consequences or the shame that it could bring? We've all told lies to keep things hidden, to keep our image intact. It forms a surreal understanding and bond between viewer and character. And on top of it, All Might does eventually lose his power, just as we will all grow old one day and surrender our power as well. We see the strongest man to have ever lived revert back to being a no one, to being one of us. A scrawny, ugly mess of a man with beady eyes and oversized clothes. But even still, he doesn't give up. All Might continues to teach and to pass on what he knows. He doesn't become irrelevant. He works to be as impactful as he can in other ways. It gives hope to our fleeting lives. Eventually, one day, we too will have to pass our knowledge on, no matter who we are, or simply be lost to time. Just because his strength is gone doesn't mean he's done. It's incredibly humbling to experience. It gives us hope that we too can reach our goals, that we too can make something of ourselves. And yet, it's the exact same thing we see with Mob and Saitama. It's a need to better oneself outside of their inherent overpowered trait. Yet, all characters aren't created equal. Characters like Kirito are OP with no flaws. They're just good at everything and show no weakness at all. Kirito Season 1 was exceptionally like that, and while Reki Kawahara's writing has improved over the years, there's no doubt that one of the issues with the first arc was Kirito's lack of any character flaw. In later seasons, we see much more of a struggle and more emotion go into the show. Hell, Alicization actually made me feel something due to Yu-Gi-Oh! Being decently written. His character made the season good, exceptional compared to other seasons. Grant actually did an entire episode over on Treesicle, but strong characters with inherent flaws are the apex of character creation. Adding an overpowered ability can damage a character's relationship with the viewer, like in Sword Art Online, but if used correctly, it can become one of the most valuable assets to maintaining a connection with the people watching. We like struggle, we like a lack of motivation and heartbreak and awkwardness and depression and uncertainty and low self-esteem and mistakes. We like our anime characters because there's something we know we can relate to. Or, you know, they have giant boobs. It's why there's so many talking dog movies out there. Not the boobs, but you gotta give something a human personality to make it appeal to humans. All good characters in any media have one or more personality flaws in some way or another. Just look at any superhero character. Batman lost his parents when he was a child. He needed to overcome his fear of bats from a traumatic experience and not let his identity as Batman take over his life as Bruce Wayne. Spider-Man was an awkward guy at a shitty job who never has enough time for his girlfriend and can save New York every day but can't seem to fix his own life. The Hulk has two personalities, two sides to himself that are constantly at war. The X-Men are hated for their genetic mutations that can sometimes be crippling. The list could go on and on. We create heroes with human identities, and it's not their abilities that drive us to watch them, it's their flaws and our hope that they can overcome them. Making a character overpowered actually helps us relate to them more if done correctly. Instead of seeing a regular person with our issues, we see someone we look up to, someone who can conquer all evil yet still struggles with the exact same problems we do. It bridges the gap between us and them, between supreme beings and regular humans. We're all one and the same, we all have the same problems, and it's not the villains of whatever story that are the true evil, it's these real-life things we deal with every day. Bringing our problems to the forefront of fantasy worlds makes them feel easier to handle. It makes their load a little bit lighter. We aren't alone in our fight. We have these impossibly strong heroes and characters fighting the battle right alongside us, and that's a very comforting thought. Even the most OP characters are written as humans, except Goku, but we'll get into that next time. And as humans, we can relate to the problems of life. I take a lot of comfort in knowing that the things I have to struggle with daily aren't just impacting me. I have the motivational issues of Saitama, I have the traumatic damages of Mob, I got the personality insecurities of All Might. I often feel lost, like our isekai heroes. Watching them work through and overcome something I struggle with without ever using their powers to fix it gives me hope that I can do it too. If superhuman abilities can't fix our human problems, then we already have the tools we need, right? A well-written OP character isn't actually overpowered at all. They're flawed with human issues, and human issues can't be solved with superpowers. When an anime character we look up to evolves and changes, it's because they're learning as a person, and that's something we can all do. So I recommend working on yourself, and in the meantime, I will be working on more videos. And I'll be dealing with this nasty, wet, swampy spring. If you have any springtime anime suggestions for me, please put them below, because my watch list, for this season at least, is kind of small. Like I said, I'm already planning on checking out Fruits Basket very soon, and I'm really enjoying Demon Slayer. If you haven't checked that one out, definitely do that. I've also completely caught up on the Promised Neverland manga, because I guess I'm that guy now. But anyway, who is your favorite OP character? I gotta say, I'm still a pretty big fan of Rimuru myself, but that's just my personal opinion. Also, we've gotten a lot of comments about how I pronounce Saitama, and people don't enjoy it, apparently. Look, I'm from Massachusetts. Everybody here has a flippant speech impediment. I don't know what to tell you. You're lucky I'm not calling him Saitama, okay? I'm from the Northeast. It's just the way it goes. And on that note, let's not forget our beautiful patron of the month, Brent Morris. Thank you so much for your support. You are the ultimate lucky patron, and this is your shout out. Really appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. And if you too would like to someday be the ultimate lucky patron of the month, then I suggest joining our team. For only $1, you get entered into the raffle, you get our exclusive patron show, and you get access into our exclusive Patreon Discord, which is awesome, by the way. We have a ton of cool people in there, and they're definitely people that you want in your life. Like, I've been in some communities before, and this one is really awesome. It really is. It's just a lot of cool people. I hope to see you there someday, and I can't wait to meet you. I'm Mike, this is Bonsai Pop, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye.